You know that feeling of emptiness in the stomach when someone turns their back on you, that moment when it seems like the ground disappeared under your feet and you wonder what you did wrong. Yes, rejection has this devastating power to mess with us in a way that very few things can. But today you will discover something that can completely change your perspective on all of this. The rejection you're feeling right now may turn into your biggest secret weapon. And I'm not talking about cheap revenge or childish games. I'm talking about a transformation so deep and authentic that it will make that person look back and think, where did I go wrong? Have you ever stopped to think why rejection hurts so much? It's not your exaggeration. It's not freshness. It's not too sensitive. The pain you feel is real and has scientific explanation. Our brain processes social rejection in the same way it processes physical pain. The same brain regions light up. The same neurotransmitters come into action. It's like you got a real punch, only no one sees the bruise. For thousands of years, being rejected by the group meant certain death. Our ancestors depended on the collective to survive, so our brain has developed this super-sensitive alarm system for any sign of social exclusion. When someone rejects you, this alarm goes off with everything. It is not your fault to feel this intense pain. But here is the crucial point that most people don't understand. That same pain that seems to destroy you carries within it a huge potential for transformation. Do you know what is the most common mistake that people make when they are rejected? They try to run after, explain, justify, beg for a second chance. They show despair, want, need. And the more they do that, the less attractive they become. It's a vicious and destructive cycle. The person who rejected you expects exactly this reaction from you. He hopes that you decrease, prove your worth, beg for attention. And when you do, you just confirm in her head that you made the right decision. But what if you did the exact opposite? What if, instead of showing fragility, you showed a strength that you didn't even know you had? It messes with the psychological of anyone. We always want what we can't have. When someone disappears from our life and continues well without us, it arouses curiosity, interest, even regret. Not because you're pretending, but because you really moved on. The first thing you need to understand is that rejection is never really about you. It may sound strange to hear that now, but it is the truth. That person who rejected you made this decision based on her limitations, her fears, her limited view of the world and relationships. There are people who can't see diamond when they have one in hand. They just don't have a trained eye for it. You can be amazing and still not be valued by someone. That doesn't diminish your value at all. What you need to do now is understand that this rejection is freeing you, liberating from what to invest emotional energy in someone who does not have the ability to see you in full. Imagine spending years of your life with someone who would never be able to really appreciate you. Rejection has saved you from this fate. And that, my love, is a blessing in disguise. Now comes the practical part, one that will really turn the game in your favor. The first strategy is what I call authentic indifference. It's not pretending that you don't care. It's actually quitting to care about that particular person's opinion of you. As long as you need her validation, you're giving her power. And power over you is the last thing that person deserves. Then you will start training your mind for it. Every time you feel the urge to send a message, to stay on social networks, to ask for explanations, you will take a deep breath and ask, does this person really deserve all that attention? The answer will start to be no. And when it is genuinely no, you will be free. Meanwhile, redirect all that energy you would spend thinking about this person to yourself. Do you know that project that you abandoned? That hobby that you left aside? That dream that was forgotten in the drawer? It's time to take all this off the paper. Don't do this to prove anything to anyone. Do it because you deserve to live your best life, regardless of who is on your side or not. Invest in your body, your mind, your career, your friendships, your talents. Turn that pain into fuel. Every time you feel that twinge of sadness, use it as a reminder of how much you're going to overcome. In a few months, you will look back and barely recognize the person you were. And you know what happens when you become this evolved version of yourself. People start to notice, including the one who rejected you, because the truth is that people are attracted to those who shine, who have good energy, who are living well. And when you are in this place of fullness, the opinion of those who rejected you will have become completely irrelevant. Maybe that person will come back wanting a new chance. Maybe not. But at this point, you won't even call, because you will have discovered something much more valuable than regaining who left you. You will have discovered your own value. Now that you understand the basics, let's dive deeper into the techniques that really work. Because one thing is to understand the theory, Another is to know how to apply it in everyday life when the pain is still fresh. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you now. The first powerful weapon you have in your hands is silence. But not any silence. I am talking about that conscious, intentional silence that speaks louder than 1,000 words. When you simply disappear from someone's life without drama, without endless explanations, without emotional texting, you create an emptiness. And human nature hates emptiness. We always want to fill the empty spaces, understand what happened, have answers. So while you're there, texting, explaining your feelings, trying to win back, you're handing over all the letters. The person knows exactly where you are, what you're feeling, how much power they still have over you. But when you really disappear, when you stop feeding any kind of contact, something interesting starts to happen. The person starts to wonder about you. Where are you? Who are you with? What are you doing? Why aren't you running anymore? That curiosity is the first step toward repentance. And you created it simply by your silence. But attention, this silence only works if it is genuine. No use disappearing from social networks, but looking at the stories of the person every day. He will know that you are watching. No use stop texting but stay online all the time waiting for her to look for you. True silence is where you really move away. Block if necessary. Delete the number if needed. Because the less access you have to this person, the easier it will be to move forward. Now let's talk about something that many people underestimate. Your physical appearance. I'm not saying you need to turn someone else or do aesthetic procedures that you want. But there is a huge psychological power in you to take care of yourself. Get dressed up, invest in your image. First, because it raises your self-esteem in an impressive way. When you look at yourself in the mirror and like what you see, everything changes. You walk differently, talk differently, behave differently, and people notice this energetic change. Second, because it is a concrete way for you to show yourself that you deserve this care and attention. Go to the gym, change your haircut, renew your wardrobe. Take care of your skin, improve your posture. Small changes that add up and create a more confident and magnetic version of yourself. And when that person who rejected you see you like this, transformed, the impact is inevitable. She wondered how you got this transformation so fast. She wondered if she really knew you. But always remember, you're not doing this for her. You're doing it for yourself. If she repents in the process, it is only a consequence, not the main objective. Another very powerful strategy is to expand your social circle. Do you know why? Because when you are stuck in the same environment, with the same people, you are also stuck in that identity. You remain the person who has been rejected, the person who is suffering for love. But when you meet new people, in different contexts, you can be who you want to be. You can be the confident, interesting, fun person that you really are when you're not carrying the weight of rejection. Join that course you've always wanted to take. Accept the invitations you've been refusing. Frequent new places. Meet different people. Open your life to new possibilities. And you know what happens? You will realize that there are people in the world who will value you from day one. People who will see you and think, wow, lucky me to have found someone like that. And it will make you wonder why you were so long suffering for someone who did not know to see you. Now, a fundamental point that many people ignore. Work your emotional intelligence. Rejection moves us because it touches old wounds, deep insecurities, limiting beliefs about ourselves. If you don't really work on these issues, you will continue to suffer the same way in the next rejection. So use this moment to do some serious therapy, to read books about self-knowledge, to understand your behavior patterns. Why are you attracted to a certain type of person? Why do certain situations destabilize you so much? What are the emotional triggers that make you react disproportionately? When you understand all this, you gain enormous power over yourself. You are no longer a hostage to your emotions and have the choice of how you will react to situations. And that emotional maturity is extremely attractive. People notice when someone has this level of self-awareness, so invest heavily in it. It's the best investment you can make on yourself. Let's talk about social networks now, because it deserves special attention. The temptation to post indirect, strategic photos, emotional stories is huge when you are suffering. But all this cries despair and want. And further away, the person who rejected you. What you should do is this. Either you completely disappear from the net for a while, or you put only genuine things in your life. Real moments of happiness, true achievements, authentic experiences. No trying to prove anything to anyone. Just live your life and record the good times. The difference between posting to make someone feel jealous and posting because you are genuinely happy is glaring. People get it. And the second option is infinitely more powerful, because it shows that you really moved on, that your life did not stop, that you do not need that person to be happy. Last but not least, surround yourself with people who really love you. Your friends, your family, the people who have always been there for you. They will remind you of your worth when you forget. They will support you in the hard days. They will celebrate your achievements, and they will show you that true love exists, only in ways different from the one you were looking for. Don't underestimate the power of a strong support network. We have arrived at the deepest and most transforming part of this entire journey. Because so far I have shown you practical strategies, techniques that work, ways of acting that will change the dynamics of the situation. But now let's talk about something that goes far beyond making someone regret rejecting you. Let's talk about the real transformation that happens inside you when you understand the true meaning of rejection. There is an ancient philosophical concept that says that we do not suffer by events themselves, but by the interpretation we give to them. Two people can go through the same rejection and react in completely opposite ways. One can go into deep depression, feel unable to be loved, give up relating. The other can use that as an impulse to reinvent themselves, to grow, to become someone even better. The difference is not in what happened. The difference is in how each one chose to face that. And that choice, my love, is yours. It has always been and will always be. No one can take away from you the power to decide what you will do with the pain you are feeling. You can let it destroy you or turn it into something productive. The decision is yours. The Stoics, those philosophers of ancient Greece, already understood this more than 2,000 years ago. They taught that suffering does not come from the things that happen to us, but from our resistance to them. When you resist rejection, when you keep repeating mentally "why with me, what I did wrong," you prolong the suffering. But when you accept that it happened, that you can't change the past, that the only thing you control is your next step, everything changes. Acceptance does not mean conformity. It means understanding reality as it is, not as you would like it to be. And from this conscious acceptance, you gain clarity to act intelligently. Let's talk now about something that may seem controversial. What if this rejection was the universe protecting you from something worse? How many times in your life have you really wanted something that, in the end, would have been bad for you? How many times have you thanked for not having achieved something that at the time seemed like the end of the world? The truth is that we do not have a complete view of things when they are happening. We do not know what kind of person that really was. We do not know the problems that would come. Do not know the incompatibilities that would appear in time. Do not know the sufferings that that relationship would bring. But the universe, life, fate, whatever you want to call it, sometimes takes you off the path in a sudden way. It hurts at the moment. It hurts a lot. Does it seem unfair? It seems, but what if in a few months you look back and thank for being rejected? Keep this perspective in your mind. It will help you through the most difficult days. Now, I need to warn you about a dangerous trap. Idealization. When someone rejects you, it is very common for you to start idealizing that person, thinking they were perfect, that you were perfect together. You forget the defects, the problems, the incompatibilities. It is only with a romanticized version in the head. And that keeps you in a vicious cycle of unnecessary suffering. Then do an exercise. Take a piece of paper and write down everything that was not good in that person or dynamic. The times you felt devalued, the behaviors that bothered you, the things that you pointed out but that hurt you. Be honest with yourself. No one else will see this paper. When you put on paper the reality of the facts, it is much easier to get out of the fantasy and see that maybe you are suffering for something that was not so good. Let's talk about time, because it is really the best medicine. I know that now you cannot imagine a day without thinking about that person, without feeling the pain in your chest, but I promise you, it will pass. I don't know if in a week, a month, 6 months, or a year, but it will pass. And one day you will wake up and realize that you have not thought about that person all day, and you will be surprised by this. And then it will be 2 days, 3 days, a whole week without thinking, until the time will come when that person will be just a distant memory, without any emotional weight. But for this to happen, you need to respect your process. Do not try to force. Do not try to accelerate artificially. Feel what you have to feel. Cry when you need to cry. Allow yourself to be sad. Just don't settle in that place. Use sadness as a temporary fuel, not as a permanent home. And while time does its work, you do yours. Keep growing, evolving, becoming better. One important thing I need to tell you: there is no guarantee that the person will come back repentant. Maybe it will, maybe not. And you need to be prepared for both possibilities. If you come back and you still want to give it a try, that's fine. Just make sure that this is what you want, not just the validation of having been chosen. If you come back and you don't want it anymore, great. That means you've really grown up and moved on. If you don't come back, even better. It means that you have definitely gotten rid of someone who didn't deserve you. In all possibilities, you win. Because the real gain is not to have that person back. The real gain is that you have discovered yourself, have developed inner strength, have learned about yourself. This knowledge, this transformation, no one can take from you. It is yours forever, and it will serve you not only in this situation, but in all the others that will come in your life. Rejection taught you something that years of therapy might not teach. You are strong enough to survive the loss. You're resilient enough to get back on your feet. You're valuable enough not to beg for love. And these are lessons that will accompany you forever, making you more prepared for life. So yes, the person who rejected you may even come back regretfully. He will probably come back when he sees you shining. But at this point, you will have understood that her repentance is irrelevant, because you will have found something much more valuable: your own completeness. You will have learned that you do not need anyone to be happy, to be complete, to be enough. And when you reach that level of consciousness, you become truly unstoppable. Rejection is not the end of your story. It's just the beginning of a much more interesting chapter. A chapter where you are the protagonist, not the co-star waiting to be chosen. Then, lift your head, dry those tears, and go show the world what you are capable of. The best revenge is your success. The best answer is your indifference. The best version of you is yet to come. So, are you ready to make this transformation happen in your life? Because everything I've shared here is worth nothing if you don't put it into practice. Knowledge without action is just empty theory. If you got this far, it's because something in that content resonated with you. It is because you understand that you deserve much more than suffering for those who do not value you. So I'll ask you 3 simple things that will make all the difference. First, leave that like in this video. Seriously, press that button now. It helps me understand that this content is really impacting people and motivates me to keep bringing more and more value to you. Second, subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications bell. Why? Because I post new content every week about relationships, self-esteem, emotional intelligence, communication. Everything you need to become the best version of yourself is here. And there is much more coming. Videos on how to attract healthy relationships, how to develop your self-confidence, how to communicate assertively. You don't want to miss any of this. Third, and perhaps most important, comment below on your experience. Tell me if you have experienced a rejection and how you dealt with it. What did you learn? How did you grow? Or tell me which part of this video touched you the most. What strategy you will start applying today. We create an amazing community here in the comments. People who support each other, share experiences, grow together, and maybe your story inspires someone else who is going through exactly the same situation. Always remember, you are not alone in this journey. I am here, this community is here, and together we become stronger. Thank you for watching until the end. It shows that you are really committed to your evolution. See you in the next video.